Hello everyone, welcome to Getting There with Pat F. Today I'm going to go ahead and review a few of my daily carry knives. And depending on what mood it is I'm in, I grab one, but for the most part I tend to grab one knife in particular. Okay, my everyday carry for the last 2 years has been old timers. Please hold a second. Here are the two old timers. The pros of these knives is they're cheap. Okay, they have a color in the handle that stands out to me, orange. So if I drop them, I can see them easily against the grass on both of them. And they do their purpose. When they're clipped in the pocket, you don't even know they're there. The same thing goes with the Winchester. Okay, nice little folding pocket knife. It has a locking blade, has a clear through the back for debris and stuff to get pushed out that gets caught up in the handle, as do both of the scales and backbones of the old timers. Downfall I found on the old timers is their blades. Now, I need to sharpen this one. This one's quite dull and I can feel a burr on it. I haven't used it as a daily basis in quite a while. But the hardness of these blades has been so hard that they've become brittle. Okay? Now, there's a difference in this knife versus the other one. Partially is in the formation of the blade. This is the older of the two, and I'm holding in my hand. Okay, where it has a slot here, that I guess you could have used for a wrench of some sort or a bottle opener. This one has the finger nub for pushing out the blade. But here, I'm going to show you the reason why I bought the second one. They have a brittle blade. I was carving a piece of wood when that snapped off. Trying to make just a little feather board for starting a fire. And the tip broke off. Now, I'm not too overly upset about it because, again, it was only a $10 knife. Now, what do I like about these knives? When all three of these knives, when you're carrying these knives, whichever one it is, clipped to your belt or clipped into your pocket, you don't know they're there. You don't feel them tugging on your pants or hitting against your thigh or anything like that in your pocket because they're firmly attached to your pants. The downfalls, which I have found, that I'm not really fond of, has to do with the clips. These clips, well, they spread easily, but they don't get caught on half as much as the Winchester. This Winchester, you have a lanyard or a string in your pocket, it gets caught on it and it flips out of your pocket when you pull whatever out of your pocket. That I see as a downfall. I think they could do a better design on it, or to do away with it and just give you a nice belt loop sheath would be an improvement on all three of these knives. For them being the $10 to $12 knife, I'll call it under 15. I think these are all well within their quality range of price. They're a quick go-to utility knife slash box opener, cutter, whatever you might want to call it or use these for. They will get the job done. Would I use them for batoning through a piece of wood? No. Would I use them for surgery? Definitely not. But use them for removing a splinter. I've done several times. I won't go with this one anymore. But for all intents and purposes, these 3 knives from Tractor Supply have been quite useful in their original forms. Like I said, this one here is about a year old, and this is the one with the broken tip. I haven't decided whether I wish to return this knife and get another one, or reshape the blade and reuse it. I'm still somewhat out to it. Probably just reshape the knife and reuse it, as it is being only a $10 knife. And you can see I do use my knives. Now, all these knives have been getting used pretty much severely, and I've yet to sharpen all of them, but I do need to sharpen them. Now, there's another knife that I carry occasionally. I do like, but I don't like it. Okay, well, a pair of them. One of them is your basic Swiss Army style knife. Comes with screwdriver, scissors. It's missing the tweezers and the toothpick. A small pair of pliers. A couple of straight screwdrivers. And a couple of assorted cutting knives. I find these to be heavy in the pocket, bulky to carry, cumbersome. I don't find the knives to be truly a locking blade type use. And well, for a knife that's probably about 25 years old, it's held up and quite well. This other knife, well, everybody would say this is a Leatherman, but I think it's a Leatherman knockoff. It's one of those multi-tool type knives. Needle nose, fish scale or ruler, fingernail file, a couple utility blades. A couple of screwdrivers that are gummed up together. Well, this was given to me about 10 years ago from a buddy of mine. He used to work for Covenant Trucking, and he never was really big on carrying knives. So he handed it off to me because he knew I was always working with knives, working with my hands and working in things. This needs a sheath. It's very heavy in the pocket, very uncomfortable in the pocket. You can even see where I used to say Covenant Trucking. Okay, so these 2 knives I generally don't carry anymore. They just sit off to the side. But these 3, for under $10 or right around $10, I think they're pretty well worth their money, their time, and their effort. And like I said, I prefer a locking blade that locks to the inside, as all 3 of these do, with this spring clip. Okay, you just slide the spring clip off to the side and you can close it. They each have the speed push, which doesn't really work until the knife loosens up and gets used a bit, or a bit more. And, well, I kind of like the looks of this Winchester. I like the feel of the wood and the scales on the side of it. But again, it is a cheap knife. If you want to keep these scales looking good and keep them looking nice, you must remember, keep them clean and occasionally give them a little bit of love with some 4/0 steel wool and a little bit of oil on them to help them swell up and stay preserved. They're riveted on there. I'm sure they're also bound on there with some epoxy of some sort. They're well formed into the handle on the front side. The back side there's a little bit of a gappage, but I'm not too worried about that. It is tight enough to go ahead and hold the uniformity of the knife, but I can also see in that being a dirt collector. Aside from the clip on this, I can see the downfall of this knife being that if you dropped it in the grass or something like that, or in the leaves, you would lose it. Especially if these pieces on the ends are not true stainless, but just regular brushed steel. But hey, it's a $10 knife. You're not going to go ahead and, how should I say it? You're not going to have a knife like this and expect it to last you for centuries. But these cheap knives, especially these ones, I like the orange of it on the handle because it stands out against the grass, stands out against blacktop and pavement. It stands out sometimes against leaves unless you're out there during the fall. And it's easily recognizable. I've dropped these two knives here probably about a dozen times. And I've been able to retrieve them because of the orange in the handle standing out against the general background of what they've landed against. This has a tendency to blend in a little bit better, especially if you're covering that, if you have only the wood blade grain showing, or if it's laying like so. But needless to say, it's a nice little knife. If you like this review, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more things. And as I have said in the past, I'm not really big on product reviews. I believe you get what you pay for, and I believe that you should pay for quality over cheapness. But when you have to be cheap, you need to know what will get you through. Let's be kind, treat everybody with respect and dignity, and remember, we're all in this world together. Please have a nice day.